Hey, my hair is awful and I'm wearing no makeup, and I don't care. So, this is a video response to Derek and Ryan's upload on Athena Girl 1000's channel. The deal is that Chick-fil-A publicly declared that they are an anti-gay company by saying, "We support traditional family values and a biblical definition of marriage." Then Mike Huckabee created Chick-fil-A Appreciation Day as a way to stand in solidarity as a bigot with the company. Millions of people showed up and shelled out cash that day. You'd be hard-pressed to see them spend that kind of money on feeding the homeless or something rather than the fast food. But anyway, there were a ton of people who went to the restaurant and did kiss-ins with same-sex couples in protest of the company. Then there was a Fox News article commentating on the protesters. Derek and Ryan were responding to the article, and I'm responding to them. So my first question is, why is this news? Chick-fil-A has been anti-gay from the very beginning. Their charity wing has made millions of dollars of donations to places like Focus on the Family, an anti-gay religious organization, National Organization for Marriage, or NOM, whose sole purpose is to block marriage equality at every turn, and the American Family Association, who does skewed studies to try and prove unsuccessfully that children need two opposite-sex parents in order to turn out right. When I went to Western Washington University, it had a Chick-fil-A. Most all of the LGBT friends I made boycotted it, and I researched it and found out all that information. I spent ages trying to convince my friends not to spend their money there, but many of them didn't realize how extreme their anti-gay position was. Now it's out in the open. It's surprising to me that it wasn't such a big deal sooner. So Derek and Ryan said that in the article, the commentator called the people who protested Chick-fil-A anti-Christian, anti-chicken, heterophobic bigots. That's funny to me. See, I'm a Christian. I'm not saying everyone should be, just that I am myself. I think Jesus is an awesome dude. He's an activist, feminist, a rebel, and a healer. He did amazing work. I owe my relationship with my mother to Jesus. He's done awesome things to bring us back together. I love you, Mom. I'm most definitely not anti-Christian. I am anti-hate. I'm against anyone who would use their religion as a tool to cause other people harm. Jesus taught that we need to focus less on other people's sins and consider our own. People who would refuse me and my friends our basic human rights are doing exactly the opposite of what Jesus, who they claim to worship, would have done. I love and respect Christians, if and only if they practice the true spirit of Christianity, love, faith, and charity. Anti-chicken? What? I freaking love chicken, and I make amazing fried chicken. Even if I was anti-chicken, why would you care? Do you realize how dumb you sound? And heterophobic. Does that make... It doesn't make any sense. I'm in a heterosexual relationship. I'm married to a man, and he's married to me, a woman. Roughly 90% of the world's population is straight. To be anti-straight is to hate 90% of the population. What I notice is that anti-gay activists often seem to think the main goal on the gay agenda is to make everyone gay. They talk about how, if that happens, humans would go extinct. You don't say! I don't speak for the entire queer community, but I'm pretty sure that's not what we're about. We just want to peacefully coexist with the rest of the population, equally. Too much to ask? And the thing about being bigots, I do see where you're coming from with that. Some gay people can be anti-Christian and can be so bitter about their oppression that they turn it around and start hating anyone who isn't gay. But that's not how I see most of my friends working. I don't hate you because of your stance. I hate you... I don't hate you for your stance. I hate the fact that you think you have more of a right to something than me simply because of the way you were born. People argue that they're being bullied because of their religion. I'm not bullying. I'm fighting back against the people who have bullied me and people like me for centuries. Now that we're resisting the status quo, you feel bullied and claim that we're the bigots. It doesn't work that way. Then there's the issue of the biblical definition of marriage. I mean, have these people even read the Bible? What definition are they talking about? It's an ancient text, not a dictionary. King Saul had 300 wives and 700 concubines, hardly one man and one woman, and hardly waiting until marriage for sex. Other biblical definitions of marriage include one man and his slave, one man and a woman he raped and then bought from her father, one man and his brother's widow. The list goes on. The only thing that seems to stay consistent is the one man part. Sounds pretty greedy to me. Another thing that the commentator said was that the people at Appreciation Day were sending a clear message: we like chicks. Chicks? We like chicks? That's the epitome of brotastic. Dude, I get the pun. Yeah, you're really clever, but you sound like the ultimate douche by saying it. You also forget the fact that most lesbians like chicks, too. Funny how they always ignore the lesbians. So much focus on the gay guys because why? Butt sex is icky? Who knows? Then he went on to say that the protesters awakened a sleeping giant because apparently the anti-gay population has been lying down and letting the queer community walk all over them. We are the oppressors now. The fact that we're sick of being treated like dirt is such a surprise to them because we totally haven't faced resistance to our fight for equality at every turn. That's cute. The sleeping giant he talked about is one of evangelical, pro-family, patriotic Americans. It saddens me that he and so many pro-family hate-mongers flat out ignore families like mine, like my dear friends Sarah and Ash, who have a beautiful son. Another family I know is headed by a trans man and a woman. They have an adorable child together. The people who claim to be pro-family are the ones who would tear families like these apart. The joy I see on these children's faces when they interact with their parents means nothing to them. Pro-family has started to mean pro-more children in foster care because they aren't allowed to be adopted by two dads. Pro-children whose parents don't have a right to legally protect their child as a couple. Pro-mothers being denied access to their children who are sick in the hospital because they aren't married and so don't have a right. If that's what family means to these people, then I will gladly destroy it and redefine it. My family has always and will always be about love. That's the definition of my parents' marriage and of mine. It's clear that it's not shared by these awful people, so I will do everything I can to change it. These same people claim that we want special rights, that what they conveniently neglect to mention is that if my friends gained the right to marry a person of the same sex, so would the people against it. They would have the equal right to marry someone they weren't interested in. So there's the marriage debate. And when it comes to protection against housing and employment discrimination, it's not a special right either. They already have a right to be treated fairly in the workplace. As a straight white man, it's very unlikely that anyone is going to consider their demographic to be worth firing or not hiring. Offering LGBT people the opportunity to be protected really only brings them up to the same level as the straight white man. Equality isn't all that special. Just admit that you think gay guys are icky and you want them to disappear. Quick reminder though, refusing LGBT people our rights won't make us go away, but by fighting us, you're just shooting yourself in the foot because we'll fight back even harder with every time we're denied. Then Derek said something about hashtag straight pride. He summed it up about perfectly for me. Pride is about reclamation. If you're in the majority, you don't have a whole lot to reclaim because you already have it. Pride is one weekend a year when hundreds of thousands of people get together and celebrate who we are. The rest of the year, millions of people gang together and tell us that who we are is wrong. I'm not telling you that you're less than me because you're straight and non-trans. I'm telling you that I want to celebrate who I am these 3 days of the year because who you are is celebrated for the other 362 days. It's still not fair, but it's a start. So I hope that that kind of brought everything to a close and is a decent response to Ryan and Derek, and I love you both very, very much. And yeah, this whole thing is just getting on my nerves, and I say I'm not an angry person, but there's some things that really do get me angry. So anyway, if you like this, then subscribe, comment, whatever. Let me know what you want to hear what you want to hear about next. I am awaiting your responses. Anyway, love you all very much. Talk to you later. Mwah.